Greetings, everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of Shoulda, Hada, D8, where we invite friends, family, fans, and the cast to talk about past episodes in all shows that are in a tale of D20s. This time, we'll be discussing Season 2, Episode 1 of Descent into the Void. With us, we have the full cast. So, why don't we all just say hello, starting with Travis, who plays King.
Hi, everyone.
Zeki, who plays Cal.
Hey everybody, it's Zektown.
Alex, who plays Monaco.
Hi.
Adam, who plays Duran.
Good evening.
And Lewis, who plays Horatio.
Hello. Catch me on Twitter at Els, aka Yeti Milk.
Yeti Milk.
We ain't asked for all that, but okay.
I know you didn't ask for it.
I like it.
Nobody asked for Yeti milk.
Yo. But thanks everyone for coming. So, season 2 of episode 1 has just occurred, and boy did we have a heck of a season finale. So just to recap, we saw some romance between Duran and King. We saw betrayals in the form of your arch nemesis, Deja Vu return, taking the guise of Lancel before sicking a demon dragon turtle on you, and then when you're, after narrowly escaping, making your way to Beach Point, before King falling into some type of coma after that whole entire event with Horatio King and Monaco. So, we'll just start with a group question, and anyone can answer. So, what the hell went through your guys' minds the beginning of season 2?
Oh no.
Yeah, that sums it up right there. Oh no. It was like Empire Strikes Back. Everything's bad. The bad guys are winning. The good guys are on their heels. It was like Northville Part 2, really.
Oh, absolutely. That's a really good way to put it. Bad guys winning, good guys losing.
Yep. That's kind of the energy of that episode.
Yeah, I like it though because it puts us in like this like lower point of energy to build up from, and I think it's just gonna make everything better between the tension of like the characters and the NPCs that's going on. I think it's gonna be a hell of a season.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. I love a good build up.
Yeah, we're like the underdogs.
Definitely.
We're 0-2 now, guys.
Yeah.
Shit, we're owing like 1 million, to be honest.
I mean, like, technically, if you go by planes or layers, we're not doing that bad. We liberated a layer so far.
That's like one of what, like, four-ish? Three?
We're
25% right
It's
now.
funny too because that layer didn't ask to be liberated. We just did it. This one asked for our help, and we're fucking failing.
We're like, we'll see.
All right. So, first question, we'll hit him with a doozy. This is for both Travis and Adam. So, end of last season, we saw a romance spark up between Duran and King. Care to talk about that, how that developed and came to fruition?
I mean, spark up is a weird thing to say because I feel like we've been like laying the bricks for this relationship for a while. Like King and Duran are always like really close, and it was like, well, what if they took one step further with it?
Do you mind if I spill the beans a little?
Oh, make a taco surprise! Spill the beans all over the table.
Okay, so full tea. Adam asked me like way back. I want to say like back when we were in the hot tubs, preparing for the Northrill, like months ago. And we even started to slightly discuss it before then. So we've been planning it in the works because he said to me, it sort of feels like Ren and King are being shipped, but wouldn't it be more impactful if we had actual characters that could grow and develop together? And I really like that idea. So I was like, okay, let's start building the foundation. And slowly, as scenes have been happening and things have been, unfolding, we've been slowly taking steps to get closer to each other. And I think that it might have felt like a spark, like we like lit that spark on that last the season finale, but if listeners go back, or even if we go back, we'll be able to see those pieces being put into place. Because we sort of didn't want it to have it like completely like laid out so it was obvious. We wanted it to be a slow build, so that way it was like, oh my god.
I personally did because I've been listening to the episodes and I've been catching it. Like, now that I know what happened, I was like, oh shit, they've been doing this for a minute now. Like,
yeah, I'm really glad that you caught it. Yeah, exactly. Listening, knowing that it's going to happen, and then listening and through it, I'm sure you could pick it up much more easily. But we wanted it to be like that. Like,
like when it happened, I was blindsided. But then when I listened back, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I missed this. Like,
yeah.
Yay!
No, exactly. So when I was doing the editing and listening back, I'm like, how did I not see this coming? So then if you actually listen to it, you'll hear that a lot of there's a mute every time there's an interaction between Duran and King. I have like a certain theme playing that's like the perfect of all the music we have. The song's called Renewal, and it's a really good song, but still has that epic feel to it, and it plays every time you guys do something. I was like, how did I not catch this? It's great. It was laid out very perfectly.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
It seemed like it was so cool because, like, they're both symbolic of these two different tribes of elves, and if they come together, their union could represent unity of all elves, and that's kind of exciting. And also, since King is like half elf, half human, it also like symbolizes a new beginning. And I think like in 2020, this era, it's a lot of kicking out old ideas and stereotypes and old ways of thinking. And it was kind of like a little of that energy too.
Oh, totally awesome! Great job with that.
I'll tell you one other piece that I think is like so super sappy, and I just love it, was when Adam and I were talking about this. There's actually recently a Magic the Gathering, semi-recently, card where there's commanders, and I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's basically like two gay lovers who like built an empire, and Zeki, you probably know the name of the card and could find it. But like their quote text is like, look at what we've accomplished together, like look at what we've built. And I was like, oh, that is so cute and so like powerful. And I was like, I love that as like the inspiration of wanting to grow together. And then exactly what Adam said is like, it's the new beginnings. It's the new, oh, here we go. Thanks, Zeki, for finding the card. Kainos and Tyros of Melitis. And it says, look of what we fought for. Look of what we've built together, is their quote. And I was like, I love it. And that is exactly us. Like, we fought and built this together, and we're forming new relationships, making new bridges. And, I think an end goal would be exactly as you said, unification of the elves and half elves and people. And, that's something that we're still like literally in the thick of. And I love it. And thanks, Adam, for playing this out and even bringing up this idea. You were the one that thought of it. And I'm so glad that it turned out how it did.
I can't wait for the shippers to just come out the woodwork.
I can't wait for that fan art, let me tell you.
Oh, come. I especially like the fact that the events that are transpiring. So we saw that King is going through some type of metamorphosis. You're not sure. It left off in a very climactic ending with after King in his mindscape seeing the visage of Miley Key approach him while he's in this slumbering state. You guys are worried about him. And Duran went through something similar in what he saw what happened to Makar, and like it's such high tension. So I would say lean on to my next question. This is for Adam. So in seeing these events happening to King, after you being the sole person to see what happened to Makar and going through this again, what is going through Duran's mind?
Can I ask, just for the viewers and not because even us other players, we did not see what happened with Makar. So could you give a recap for the listeners, since we weren't recording at that time, so they have context?
Sure, I'll repeat the question. So, Duran, you saw during the time when you were in Galeem, prior to when we started recording, the rest of the liberators were kidnapped and taken for public execution while you escaped with Makar, the Foulfeather. It turned out that he was the reincarnation of the Orabu, the the body of Acadia, the goddess of wind and air, and he sacrificed his life in a temple with Duran to get you and him back to the rest of the Liberators to use the power of the Ilrabu to then free them of their shackles. And in doing so, you literally saw his soul shatter from his body, and he metamorphosed into a shimmering, like black and diamond winged creature. But it was a very dramatic moment, a sad moment for Duran watching this. So Duran, in watching that, now seeing it happen, something similar to King, what is going through his mind?
Duran is pissed. He's really upset and he feels really powerless because when Makar transformed, Duran also got to see a vision with him, and Makar made the choice to go through, and Duran tried to stop him, but it really wasn't his choice to make. It was Makar's choice to make. But Duran still feels responsible for not saving him. He feels responsible for not saving everyone. And he cares so deeply about King. He's so afraid that he's going to lose King that I don't know if he would do anything. I think he'll probably try to talk to Maliki. I don't know if but he might try to fight Maliki if he could. He'd fight anyone at this point.
He asked Horatio, is there a way to kill a god?
Heart eyes from Travis to Adam. You kill a god for me, bae.
Yeah, you go ahead and try to kill a god.
I was like, my guy, listen, I don't think, wait, hold on.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work out the way that he thinks it might. I know that, but he doesn't.
So, during all this chaos, though, to throw in, using the word chaos very loosely, we saw a kind of monkey wrench in the Liberators in the form of Manako. She ran in there during this communion between King and Horatio and breaking apart their journey into this plane where they saw events prior. Without giving anything away that was said in the void, although the viewers would have heard it, the players have not. So this is for Alex. How is Manako dealing with the choices that have been brought to her and the decisions that she's making?
Oh, she's not really dealing with them. I mean, she when Horatio gave her that kind of, there's that moment where he kind of asked her straight up, like, "Hey," and she looks at him straight in the eyes and just keeps going with the same thing, and it's she's not actually addressing the issues that are at hand for her. She's sort of on the sideline, and then with the afterwards, there's this long, okay, let's just be we're looking after King, but not talking about it because we're all so worried. I for her during that moment, there's just like running through her mind, how do I fix this, but not doing anything about it.
All right. And side question. Now, you can choose not to answer this if you feel it's too meta. Feel right ahead. Is Manako feeling any type of remorse for what she's doing with King, the spells and whatnot?
Oh, I mean, she doesn't feel great about it, but you do what you gotta do.
Okay. All right. Drama is stirring in the air. And speaking of drama, the one person who has, I would say, the most external drama would be Horatio, in the form of he has constant contact with, so far you're assuming is the BBEG, Doramo. Not only that, but he has a confusing family history that seems to be pushing its way through the soils, and that he's has to confront, it seems. So this question is for Lewis. What is going through Horatio's mind with the possible divinity of his mother, his connection to Doramo, and the Corporus Arcana?
So it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. He said to Duran once, every question answered just breeds more questions, and as he goes further down, he realizes, man, whatever it is that my parents did, I think it's the catalyst of everything that's been happening here. It's just my reasoning for coming down might be to fix all this bullshit, you know. And when it comes to the Corporis Arcana, boy, that right there is a lot. You know, especially since he knows, it seems like it's on the horizon. Like, hey, listen, you're gonna have to deal with this. And you know, he left. He went to them, took everything he could from them, and then left. So he knows he's gonna have to deal with that eventually. And then he has the pressure building up from having Doramo within Becken's call, and not being able to just blow up and tell him to fuck off because, you know, Ren is around and there's a life hanging on the lines. And he would absolutely be devastated if Ren died because of him, which he already took a risk letting everyone know that Doramo had the ring.
What lengths would Horatio go through to assure the safety of Ren, knowing that she's in the hands of this tyrannical Doramo?
I mean, he's gonna do whatever he can. He wouldn't go as far as to sacrifice his own life, but he would do a lot to get to her, you know, a lot to make sure that Doramo doesn't hurt another person like he hurt Galdrian, you know. And he just knows that it's like in the back of his mind, he knows that it's just one little fuck up and that's her life.
So, yes, go ahead.
Sorry, can I comment on the first part of what you said, which I just thought of, and I think it's actually really ties the story to like what's happening today. And you said that you have to go fix your parents' shit, and I feel like that pulls a very deep parallel to where we are in like IRL society. That our parents sort of fucked up the world, and now like kids and millennials and Xennials and Gen Z are like standing up and, you know,
and trying to fix all
climate change, BLM, you know, everything. And
Yep.
it's like we, you know, the next generation has to be better and actually make proper change. So
Exactly.
I think that's a really fun and interesting, but also deep parallel that, you know, I'm just sort of noticing, and I think is like interesting, and I like it. I don't know how to articulate that better.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say I didn't really plan for it to be that way. It was kind of coincidental, you know. Just been kind of playing Horatio and kind of reflecting. Though me and my parents are fine, you guys. I just want to go ahead and say that I've been kind of just imagining because I grew up in a full family household. You know, I had both of my parents, but I mean, what family doesn't have its issues, you know? So I've been kind of just thinking of how my parents would react and how I would react to that, and just putting it into a character.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I
Luke's
totally
a real
didn't.
method actor there. Real method actor.
Yeah, you might not even realize that you were building that, but it's just, you know, an interesting parallel to think through now.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And it makes it like powerful and I guess, you know, deeper. And I'm not trying to co-op any of the movements or anything going on now. Just the fact that, you know, there's strength in that in more facets than IRL is, you know, great that, you know, we can use, you know, use real life things to help us have a more dramatic, fulfilling, you know, role-playing event.
That's what makes this entire campaign so real, because we're going for like the drama, and we have so many different issues that come up that we're dealing, and I think we deal with it how we would do in real life, except we have superpowers. And it's interesting seeing how it turns out. That everything's obviously hyperbole, because we're not worrying about the end of the world per se, in like it is here with super magic powers, but we're still dealing with sort of like the end of the world, and all doing our part to put a stop to it.
Yeah.
All right. So one of the latest members of the Liberators, Cal, joined in kind of out of the blue, found each other in a magic shop, and then went on this grand adventure, discovering what deep shit that he gets into with the rest of the Liberators, but has shown himself to be a powerful ally, and went through so many different things throughout this with Arrow Watch and then Fia, and then basically guiding and being like the binding force in Fia to get everyone together. So my question to you, Zeki, would be, what is going through Cal? How's Cal experiencing this? Like, he's the oldest adventurer, as in you were on your own and doing your own thing, and then hopping into this group, so you were more seasoned than when they started. So now seeing all their issues, what goes through Cal's mind?
I think for Cal, like you had said, going and doing adventuring either as like a literal gun for hire or just like a solo, like a lone wolf type character, and then being able to join up with a group of individuals that have already been through so much together that he really doesn't get the whole picture of, but is starting to. And I think that as we kind of saw at the end of the first season, where we were in Fia and you kind of got a glimpse at the people he had kind of surrounded himself with, it kind of, I mean, you get the impression that they weren't necessarily the best people all the time, but it was who he could depend on. And I think that in going forward and like experiencing everything with the group, he's able to kind of learn how to really have a family. And I think part of that may even come up in this season with a little Easter egg that our wonderful DM Omar dropped that I even like kind of forgot about for a little bit, but and then at the end I was reminded, and it like hit me all like, with like a big pile of bricks and connects everything a little bit tighter. And I think it's going to come out in the next couple episodes. Maybe I'll bring it up probably.
So we don't know?
No, you don't know.
I want to know.
Cal lore. That's some Cal backstory.
Forgot about it. I let it go, and then you bring it back up.
Right? Oh my god, I can't wait till Sunday now.
Sunday, we have a couple more days.
We have a couple more days. 48 hours. 48 hours, I promise. We'll know more.
First thing Horatio's gonna do is Cal, what about that Easter egg you got last
right?
week?
It better come up organically. I don't want to hear
don't force it. So was Cal a bro? Cal was like a bachelor bro before he met us?
I wouldn't say he was like a bachelor bro, but he's
a little deeper than GTL.
Yeah. Way deeper than GTL. But I think like he kind of had people who he was always like pulling out of trouble, and as much as he was like kind of on his own, he was also the person who was being like the parental figure.
Be the parental figure in a group of,
quote
unquote delinquents and misfits.
Like people who, his best friend could never hold a job or always would get himself in trouble, and they'd have to either
or start a fight club in the yard,
or start a fight club, backyard wrestling. Like these are the types of things that would be like a normal everyday thing, where Cal would be like, I left you for 2 weeks, and this is what happened. I gave you money for pizza, and you throw an underground wrestling.
Started with blackjack.
Right? That's funny. I can't wait to see the connections grow deeper, and just that little lore drop has gotten me so like, ooh, like got me like super tingly, but also like in my heart too. When you said like you're looking for a family, like that melted me a little.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
And I think he's kind of finding that like he doesn't have to be the parent. Like it's more of a sibling relationship where you can kind of depend on each other equally, rather than at the end of the day he knows he has to be,
it's always step up.
Yeah. So I think that's really great that he's finally able to slide into such a tight-knit group already, and it's, I don't know, I'm getting all
choked up,
like fuzzy and everything about it, because I'm like, it's just like, it's hard. It's like finding like your real friends.
Yeah.
Like the people, like, you have your friends in high school, you have your friends like growing up as a kid, you have your friends in college. Sometimes you stay friends with those people, but other times you like get thrown into like a different city, or like, and that's like, like we were talking about before with things mirroring real life, I feel like everybody puts, you know, a large percentage of their own personality or like their own life experience, because that's what we know, and the best like RP and characters that we're going to bring out are going to be what we know. And you know, for me, it's like I moved across like to a brand new place and like I'm meeting all these new friends through various hobbies and stuff. And you know, Cal meeting this party in a magic shop is kind of like me meeting my friends in a magic shop. Magic the Gathering, but you know, you still like
I still have the picture of the day we met when we met
like
at the
shop in Highland Park.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it feels right, you know, whenever like you see something going the way it should be or how you think it should be, even if, you know, as like a character, like out of character, you see, you know, maybe the machinations of something going underneath of that with Minako or something. But like as a character, you are still seeing like, oh, Minako, you're like one kind of familiar thing to Cal because you are also a tiefling from Shiverin. Like, you know, kind of what's been going on and like what Shiverin's all about. And it's really cool to then be able to have like that part of a shared experience with also the rest of the pie, which is like this unknown thing that you're learning to grow with the rest of the party.
Yeah, there's a definite like the tieflings and then the old liberators.
Yeah.
like we're trying to be part of the liberators, but
we're just
you know,
like we don't get these elves.
You gotta liberate a plane first before you're a true liberator.
Yeah, you guys are liberators in training.
I'm just so excited for some Cow Lore that's gonna drop soon.
That makes me really excited.
It's really excited. I don't know. There's like, from the moment where you got the gun and the numbers, I was like, I know what the numbers are for, but I need to organically bring it into the story. And I'm just like, stood up one night and just had that spark of inspiration. I'm just like, I'm counting down the days until we can get to the part where we can address some Cow Lore. And it's
give me them calories. Yes, give me them calories.
I like that.
Oh my god, I just thought of that. I love it.
I'd much rather get the midi calorians. No?
I see what you did there.
too.
That was a good one, though, Charles.
That was very good.
Because Omar was dragging it out, and I was like, wait a minute, it almost sounds like he's saying calories. And I was like, that's perfect, I'm going to say that.
But yeah, I am excited for that. I'm excited. So you guys are going to be in for such a treat. I definitely went back to the drawing board with Thelos, because you entered Thelos first and you got a little piece of it, and it was totally supposed to be this like dark and dreary place, which ended up being Shiverin anyway. And I was like, I want to definitely have a juxtaposition between the two places, but still within Duskhaven, so it's still going to be dreary nonetheless. But it's definitely, and I'm like, whereas definitely Shiverin was made for fighters and melee people. That was my, for the get-go, why I intended to do that. Easter egg, only fighters and people who are melee people like that, non-magic people, were supposed to get vagaries, and there was supposed to be something else in Thelos. But then at that point, you all basically like, I was like, I can't just give one or two people a vagary. And I was then like, and then
no, you could just give one not a vagary.
I mean, you failed. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That's fine.
Well, he just spilled the beans. You're gonna get a chance at Thelos for something.
I might fail that one too.
Yeah.
I will say Horatio knows exactly, has a more sense of what's to come than anyone else. Because,
makes sense.
Yeah, so, and Lewis, you know. So, you know stuff will come and everyone will have their chance for some type of epic thing to happen to them. Though it never comes easy, no point. So that way you deserve these ridiculous power-ups that you get. But it was made just for fighters and all that, and I started to get it into Ella, and I was like, but so since that was the fighter world, Thelos is going to be all about magic, because it's called the Arcane Capital. You can't just be called the Arcane Capital if you're not magic-y. So, It's gonna be super cool. I'm sure the wizards and the warlocks and the sorcerers will have a field day in Thelos when you eventually get there. Because if you guys land in Beach Bell safe, you do well. Luckily, you picked Beach Bell, which is
You
the
like
closest.
how he said if?
Yeah,
You like
if.
how he said if?
I
You
know,
catch
right?
that?
If we get there
Oh,
safely.
wait.
We got like 30 minutes before we get to beach, though. But he's like, in those 30 minutes, y'all make it.
Well, no, I had to be ambiguous. You never know what can happen.
No,
but-
I know. I'm just touching you.
Monster might show up from last time. Oh, you forgot about me. I was waiting here in Beach Bell.
Surprise, motherfucker.
That's the closest way to Thelos, so then I would be excited, but of course there's always things along the way, so we'll see what happens. But you definitely are in for quite the adventure. It will be almost like you're in a new plane, since you guys have been here forever. I wanted to mix it up a bit.
You've done a really good job with Duskhaven so far, and especially Shivrin.
Should be its own freaking campaign at this point.
That's what it's feeling like.
I mean, like, I'm about it. Like, it feels
Hey,
like
we got plenty of levels, Bucko.
We got plenty.
Oh, right?
We got plenty.
Yeah,
Y'all guys
we're
are only
only-
level 11, pushing 12.
We're pushing level 12. We still got 8 more levels. That could be like another 1 floor.
No, listen. But
did we start here? Do you remember?
when do we start?
Like, what
Before
level were
Cal.
we when we got here?
Oh, you guys started level 5. Oh, when you got to here, you were level 8 when you got to Duskhaven.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yes, 4 levels of floor makes sense.
Yeah, and in Galeem you were level 6.
And
Yeah,
we
you were there.
under-leveled. Because
Yeah.
we, like, rushed through a part of the
We like
Krieg
totally
building.
skipped the whole first floor and jumped.
We're like,
straight-
no, there's a flying whale, run away.
It's dangerous. Let's go deeper.
Let's go deeper. This is too dangerous.
This floor is scary.
So you've caught up to where you would be at this point with the amount you've skipped. So that's why it's been challenging, but you've been pushing through. All right. So final words on your anticipation for the beginning for the rest of season 2. We'll start off with Lewis for Horatio.
I'm anticipating a great story, like always. I am hoping nobody dies, except Doramo and his people, and Deja Vu. And, best of luck to everybody. Monaco is not trusted still.
And with that, Monaco, Alex, any final words?
It's okay, guys. Monaco's totally trustworthy. You should love her more. But I'm totally excited for all this. I'm sure there's gonna be some twists and turns, but wherever it goes, I'm hoping it's like a upwards trend. If we had even more tragedies, it would be too heartbreaking, I think.
And Cal, Zeki, any final anticipation words for the coming season?
Personally, I am extremely excited to dive into those calories and get some of the backstory out. I feel like there's going to be I feel that personally the backstory is going to multiply into deeper levels of the campaign. So I know that, or at least I hope, my hope is that it's going to get a decent portion of the backstory, but I feel that you're gonna do a great job of turning that knife a little further and making and as you should, making me go with the party down deeper, because there's going to be compelling reasons that I'm sure those numbers have something to do with it. The last episode has something to do with it that we will find out more soon, very soon, I promise. And
Keep bringing it up.
Dig into them calories.
And I think that we're going to see a really cool character development arc with Minako. I think that the romance between King and Duran is going to be phenomenal. I think it's going to get, we're just starting to see the budding of the flower, and we're as a viewer of this happening as a character and out of character. It's wonderful to watch this budding relationship and see it kind of blossom. So, and then there's all the stuff with saving the plane, that kind of.
Very nice. And Duran, Adam, final anticipations for the coming season?
oh my goodness, is the dungeon master going to take the ship away just after letting it happen? Is one of the things I'm wondering about. And there's so much drama going on in this campaign. I'm just looking forward to having more of it. I never want to end.
Don't say that, because Omar will fucking ride those tracks to the end. He loves drama.
Oh, I love drama, indeed. And last but not least, King, Travis, final anticipations and expectations.
So I have to agree with everybody. I am ready to fucking devour those calories. Let me tell you, I am chowing down. I super excited to see the Monaco arc and see how she's going to dig herself out of it, because I try to rather completely separate Travis from King. So I play King, not with in-game or the out-of-game knowledge that she's like doing these demon things. So he's very naive, and can't wait to see how his naivety and innocentness and her, grow, because I feel like they do have a genuine bond together, but I think that's going to break and then have to reform, and I'm so ready for that to happen or something to develop.
Yeah, and now Monaco is on Horatio's radar as well.
Right. I love the relationship that King and Duran have built, and I cannot wait to see how that grows. And just as Zeki said eloquently before, it's just literally the bud has just started to grow, and I can't wait to see that bitch flower, let me tell you. So I am super excited for that. And last but not least, me, Travis, am a wizard mage at heart. I love all things magic. You guys know me. I always play the mage in every single game. It's like my true calling. And to hear that Thelos is so steeped in magic lore and so magic rich and about that, I cannot wait to see what you've developed, because you're such a good DM and you build such a vibrant, filled world, and it's so much fun to interact and play in your game, and I cannot wait to see it because I'm so excited for that. And like Adam just said, I love the drama. I love our RP. I think we have such a great group dynamic, and I don't want it to stop too.
Awesome, thank you. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at A Tale of D20s, also on Facebook, also A Tale of D20s, or go on our website, www.ataleofd20s.com. I want to thank all the cast for making it here today. You guys are amazing. You make DMing this session, tail weaving this session, this campaign, an amazing experience. And I thank you all for hanging with me every Sunday.
Thank you for having us, man.
Thanks for having us. Woo!
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the adventure and for bringing all of us together, because everything Cal said and everyone said here, it's just, I'm sorry, Zeki said, it's just all really, it really touched me, and it was just, I cried a little bit, just a little bit, because it's like the fellowship of the team is a mirror to our real fellowship as players, and it's a tail weaver, and that's really awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, I myself can relate to Cal a little bit because I uprooted from Florida to Philly, and these are the friends that I've found, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm grateful to each and every one of you guys, because it allows me to be a part of something bigger than myself, you know?
Yeah. So, let's place in the bookmark and continue our epic tale next time. Thank you, everyone, and we love you all.